All right, it's time for business, and Sandra Afenu has joined me. Hello, Sandra.
Hello, Israel. Good evening. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
All right. I want us to get straight to business.
Please do so.
Okay. Hello, I'm Sandra Afenu. I'm here for business. The Association of Ghana Industries is pushing for governments to acquire at least 30% of equity stake in local private industry. AGI says the move will help all businesses expand without resorting to borrowing from the banks with higher interest rates. President of the AGI, Dr. Yao Edujemfi, made the call in an interview after addressing members of the association at its annual general meeting in Accra.
This year's annual general meeting was focused on positioning industries for global competitiveness. According to the AGI president, Dr. Yao Edujemfi, many of the policy initiatives introduced by government have supported their operations over the years, but failed to address the cost of machinery for their expansion programs. To this end, he believes the state can take an opportunity in owning shares in their operations. Dr. Jemfi called on government to consider acquiring equity stakes in companies which want to expand.
The government, I'm bringing $1 million into your company, but I'm taking ownership of the company for at least 30% now. When things go well and you pay us, we get your money back. Which would be a laudable idea for a lot of companies who are cash-strapped in terms of expansion. So we believe that the time has come. The government, instead of telling us to go to the bank and borrow money, rather should look at it from a different view, in the sense that we want to take equity and give you money, that the ownership, the governance, the management of the company will be run in hand with the government until the money is paid off or you rise above. So we think it's a very laudable idea that government needs to pursue with us, and we are going to talk with the government to make sure this comes into fruition.
Addressing the meeting, Minister of Finance Ken Oforiatta assured that government is working in the interest of industry leaders and will work on their concerns.
So through this, there may be some honest mistakes that we will make, but the charge really, our commitment and pledge, I think the leadership of the Trade Minister is clear, and we in finance looking at resources that we will need to be this transformed country. We need to find ways to work with you actively to create this environment in which entrepreneurship, is what is revered, and that getting wealthy and then using that to support a society that also has social mobility and enables social justice and access and inclusiveness is what we want.
The association commended the bold initiatives introduced in building a friendly business environment.
Businesses within the Shanti region believed to be engaging in under-invoicing and perpetrating some nefarious activities are being exposed by the Ghana Revenue Authority Task Force under its district action. The move is part of GRA's efforts to encourage voluntary tax payment and address issues of tax evasion. Prince Apia has the rest of the story.
He paid 17,000 and then he reported 5,770. Look at the difference. I don't know, the tax will be based on the 5,000 and not on the 17,000. That was what was. What did I pay 200? 2,000. But wait, 2 seats. Wait, 2 Ghana.
Now, 2 per head. Per head be 20 Ghana or 2 seats.
Exactly. You see, what is happening is that with Burkina, the commercial invoice is an import to them. And so on the basis of the suppressed value, the benchmark will be used, and the benchmark is the lower value. So they will pay the lower duties, so it ignores to their benefits.
Meanwhile, Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Service is optimistic about meeting revenue targets following reopening of major checkpoints in the Ashanti region. Following the introduction of the paperless port, government directed the GRA to close all checkpoints along highways. Assistant Commissioner of Customs Division Frederick Yankis tells Joy Business the reopening will boost revenue collection. Nana Yaojima has more.
Kumasi Sector Command is 8.9% away from achieving revenue targets, translating into over 51 million cedis of about 578 million cedis set by the Finance Ministry. The figure, compared to same time October last year, show improvement of 14.3% in collection. Petroleum taxes lead the log with only 1% short of the 192 million cedis target. Import duties valued added tax and levies have raked in 23 million cedis with a deficit of 36% to hit target. For import taxes, 15 million cedis remains to be collected before end of year. Mr. Yankee believes reactivating the checkpoints will prove crucial in meeting targets.
For the opening of the barrier, it's going to help us to, control the incoming of goods from Aflao and Tama into the Kumasi city. So automatically we are going to put in a lot of effort to bring in more goods, re-examine, ensure that the revenue due the state is collected with penalties. The revenue target the government was expecting is not forthcoming. And these are the challenges that we give to the government, that to reconsider, if not all, the major ones should be reopened for us to work hard to achieve the target.
Mr. Yankee says checks on vehicles from neighboring countries without custom documents will be intensified in the last 2 months.
In fact, most of the vehicles in town, to be frank with you, about 20% of them are not customed. Most of them come in as ECOWAS, we have ECOWAS temporary importation for member countries, not for Ghanaians. But these vehicles are being driven by Ghanaians, which they override the rule. You see, so when we see we arrest it, overstay. Some of them overstay their period of 90 days. We arrest them. We pay penalty for every day, 5 cedis. That we overstay the 90 days they give you.
Meanwhile, the division says vehicles for effective patrol remain a challenge. Head of Customs Division, Colonel retired Kwadwo Damwa, responds to the concerns.
Individually and collectively, let's work hard. Let's go all out. Let's sacrifice. And when we have more to show, definitely we can also look at your concerns. It doesn't mean that if you don't work hard, we won't look at them. But it is, as I said, when you have more resources available, that you can expect more from management.
Nana Ojima reporting.
In other news tonight, Ghana's financial sector since August 2017 has experienced a wave of reforms, particularly with the banks and specialized deposit-taking institutions. This has resulted in a number of institutions having their licenses revoked. The latest Afro-Barometer survey by the Center for Democratic Development, CDD, has shown, in spite of recent shake-up, banks are the most trusted financial institutions, followed by the mobile money service. This is despite Ghanaians saying the economy is heading in the wrong direction. Director at CDD, Kuzu Asante, has been speaking to George Yafi.
An Afro-Barometer question that always, I think, confound everybody. Whether Ghanaians are internal optimists, we don't know. But every time they say they evaluate the economy as either going in the wrong direction or the country going in the wrong direction, if you ask them that in the next 12 months, do they believe that things will get better, they're always positive. So that's a good thing, because it means that people are not fatalistic about current situation. They expect that something good might happen. You know that with perception survey, it's very difficult to dig deep into what directs. We have done analysis before to see if religion is a driver, but none of those things are proving so. So it's still, for me, I'm always confounded by that particular finding.
For policymakers, and looking at how widespread this survey was, what are you expecting to be their response? Is it in terms of policy response, in terms of ensuring that they have to tweak things a little bit to ensure that confidence pick up? Because when you have confidence, then again, your response in terms of tax measures and all the rest will change.
There were many findings that for me, I think it raises some interesting questions about government policy. So if you get the findings on whether how government is doing on reducing the income gap, how government is doing on unemployment, for instance, and so on, which are all poor ratings, is it that government policy is yet to translate into sort of the kind of benefits that we expect, or the policy design or the policy implementation itself has to be looked at again, or, I mean, there are many things that we know government is trying to do to address, economy issues, social issues, and so on. Why is it not being felt? And is it just a question of time, giving it time?
That's all for business for now. I'm back after 8 p.m. with more business news. I'm Sandra Esinam Apeno.